Hey kid, do you like crime? GTA Online isn't like other girls. The sandbox experience of Grand Theft Auto has never been more open or offered as many toys to play with or ways to engage with the world as it does in Grand Theft Auto Online. From the first trailer of GTA 5, I knew I was going to love the game. The tones seemed to be a few shades lighter than the GTA 4 that I knew and loved, but I was into it.
I killed people, smuggled people, sold people.
I really don't. Do you want me to get my dick out again?
The first trailers focused heavily on characters and setting, like any good GTA trailer should. But equally compelling was how much it focused on elements within the sandbox. They would have multiple vehicle types in each action shot, tons of unique looking NPCs doing believable things for the immediate surroundings, population density and environmental detail that tickled the part of my brain where math should go. And honestly, at the time, online multiplayer wasn't even a concern I had. I liked my single player experiences. They tended to be more consistent. And from what little experience I had with GTA 4 Online, I had zero expectations going into GTA 5 Online when it launched a month after the game's initial release.
With Grand Theft Auto Online, Rockstar Games is looking to bring the heart of the Grand Theft Auto experience to a living online world with multiple players.
Now it was time to make the city yours in a completely new way. Judging by the story content, we expected elaborate heists, arcadey and engaging street racing, action-packed gunfights, and at the very least a progression system. And boy did we get almost all of that. The game world was just as much fun to explore, maybe even more so than the campaign, because you could buy a number of various apartments where you could store and insure your own custom vehicles. Little touches like the more expensive or exotic cars you found on the street being low-jacked so you couldn't outright keep them for yourself or sell them to a chop shop, encouraging you to progress and earn more on your own to buy things for yourself. This gave you a stronger attachment to the things you had to earn.
I love that car.
And doubled as a status symbol to the other players. This kind of created an interesting economy in the game that gave the currency real-world value. Only the exchange rate was in time investment. The ability to change your clothes and your hairstyle like in the campaign and keep several outfits saved for different occasions was a nice addition. Choosing where in town you wanted to live and saving up your money for a nicer house or more customization for your cars. And that's basically it. There was deathmatch and race modes and the occasional contact mission, which paid out the most for the amount of time you put in, but it all seemed to go stale relatively quickly. A very wise man once said, "Rockstar's game design is outdated." And he's very correct, and smart, and talented. Please notice me, senpai. But to apply that sentiment to GTA Online becomes a little bit more forgivable. A little bit. Just a little bit. The only thing to do in Grand Theft Auto Online is make money, which is an extreme oversimplification, but also literally true. Every single one of the unknowable number of missions or jobs or activities in GTA Online rewards you with some amount of cash and experience. The only way to get new toys to play with in your big sandbox world is to spend that money. Because there are so many options for missions and jobs and ways to make money in GTA Online, you're gonna spend your first few sessions just trying to figure out the fastest way to make money with as little headache as possible. Do all this long enough and you find yourself with a carefully curated list of jobs you can complete as quickly as possible to maximize your time investment to payout ratio. See, the money you earn from the better paying jobs is based on how much time you spend on the mission, which is fine, but in typical Rockstar fashion, they take the liberty of padding out that runtime for you by having each mission take you all the way across the map and come back. It seems like every mission that pays well consists of a lot of travel time. In his Rockstar game design video, Funny Ball Man points out that Rockstar has trouble balancing the sandbox elements of their games with the carefully crafted stories that they want to tell. This issue within GTA Online specifically is really frustrating because you can fly the time machine from Back to the Future 2 anytime you want, but the game wants you to borrow its Mitsubishi Eclipse to drive to the next county and then come right back so a bunch of characters can say cringy things to you over the phone. Thankfully, this isn't the case for all of GTA Online's missions. A lot of the contact missions, or any of the missions related to the free roam, don't impose these kinds of restrictions. And that's when the game is at its best. You can accomplish these missions in any way you want. You have a goal, but the particulars of how you reach that goal are left up to you. And that's when the sandbox elements of Grand Theft Auto are at its best. And the lovingly crafted, specifically paced out missions, they still exist in the form of heists, which are a lot of fun if that's the experience you're looking for. But due to the open nature of mission selection and the ability to quickly launch your favorite missions at any time, you aren't forced to engage with missions designed in that way, like you would be in single player. Speaking of heists, the heists. Multi-part missions involving teams of 2 to 4 players where you conduct your own survey, setup, planning, and execution of high-paying heist missions that narratively tied into each other and the overall story of your GTA Online character's rise to criminal mastermind. The heists were everything we hoped for. Engaging, challenging, but most of all, rewarding. Heists, for a long time, were the fastest way to make a lot of money. The problem with them in the early days of GTA Online was that they'd play like story missions, introduced by a cutscene, specific parameters that had to be followed, and mistakes could have your team restarting the mission if anyone failed. But, I mean, it's not all bad. When they work, the heists feel as cinematic as the campaign, and they capture all the best elements from your favorite Hollywood robberies like the shootout from Heat, or the cunning precision of Ocean's 11, or the high-octane energy of Baby Driver. But a lot of the time, you get Reservoir Dogs. It took me and my friends months to finally pull off the finales for each of the heists, and as soon as we were done, we did them all again. And again, and again. Hold on. Wait a minute. The payout is roughly the same as if you would just continually do contact missions for the same amount of time as it takes to complete a heist. Or, for that matter, survival mode. Each heist progressively takes more time to plan and execute, but you make slightly more money the longer they get. The time-to-money ratio was basically unchanged from the early contact missions. You could net about $30,000 for 30 minutes of play. Breaking down how long each heist took to complete and dividing the final earnings among the 4 team members evenly worked out to be roughly $30K per 30 minutes of play. It was becoming clear just how Rockstar valued the player's time, and the scale for time to money couldn't be illustrated more plainly than it is in survival mode. In the beginning of GTA Online, there were only 10 waves to each survival match, and you could tackle them solo or in a group of up to 4. The payout was the same for each player based on the round you reached. If you survived all 10 waves, you made $30,000, but each wave before that took a steep dive in rewards. Only making it to round 9 meant you received $18,000, almost half of the payout. To complete all 10 waves, however, took roughly 30 minutes, and this is observable in literally every other job available, at the time anyway, except for some PvP game modes which fell far below that value, reducing the incentive to engage with them at all. So after the novelty of pulling off the heist for the first time had worn off, where do you turn? PvP modes were fun enough in short bursts, but the payout was minuscule, and the prevalence of hackers in the early days made even the most fun game types an exercise in anger management, gamer words. So once again, me and 1 or 2 friends would replay the very first heist because it was the shortest and it only required 2 players. We could guarantee a payout after minimal setup time, and while we waited for the timer to reset, we would go back to holding up convenience stores and boosting streetcars. The goal was still only to make money for money's sake. We each already had the nicest apartments in the game and a fleet of expensive custom cars filling up our garages. The moment-to-moment fun in gameplay was only going to last us so long. 2016 was probably the biggest year for GTA Online players. We got the Finance and Felony update, which allowed players to start their own criminal empire, smuggling contraband, sourcing high-end cars for overseas resale. A host of new specialty vehicles and missions related to managing your business, 60 car garages, multiple new player home options, and of course, dozens of new cars. Then, the Bikers update, which allowed you to start your own motorcycle club and open illicit production facilities that would passively produce valuable stockpiles of goods that you could sell around town for more quick cash. This was where GTA Online started to surpass initial expectations of the game, making the player feel like they were having a real, noticeable existence in the city of Los Santos. With each new revenue stream to pursue, there was more than enough incentive included in the steady addition of vehicles. You could upgrade your facilities with better security, hire other players to act as your personal bodyguards, and run missions together where you dictate their payout according to the roles that they filled. Public event missions you could trigger on your own in free roam, and this was just the beginning. 2017 brought the gun running update. You could buy an underground bunker and convert it into a weapons manufacturing facility to earn even more passive money. And of course, new weaponized vehicles and special missions.
But wait!
Smuggler's Run update, which is a reference to a Rockstar classic by the same name, and has the player accomplish high-action, vehicle-based recovery and smuggling missions similar to the objectives of those beautiful old games. More new weapons, more vehicles, more new game modes. This update now allowed you to purchase an aircraft hangar from several available locations around the map and run air vehicle-centric missions featuring the new planes, jets, and helicopters. But the juice, honestly, wasn't worth the squeeze, although the gameplay was exciting and new. And to cap off 2017, Rockstar sent this gaming freight train right off the rails into the stratosphere with the Doomsday Heist. The Doomsday Heist was the most involved heist yet released. First, you had to purchase an underground Doomsday facility complete with a hangar for the new Avenger aircraft and front the money for the setup cost. All things considered, the bar for entry was higher than any other online activity before, with a price tag of at least 1.25 million GTA bucks. The update also added the Deluxo, the single most game-breaking vehicle aside from the other one that everyone knows and loves. But at the time, this thing was just plain stupid. I love it, and it is awesome, but the addition of things like the Deluxo changed the pace of gameplay so drastically that Rockstar readjusted the pay tables for most missions and restricted the use of the vehicle on certain jobs because they knew they just handed the keys of a literal, actual time machine to the players, and the only destination it brought them to was the end of mission payout, faster than ever before. This could be ruinous for their shark card revenue if players could now quickly acquire enough cash to afford the new content without buying microtransactions. Oh no! Red alert! Red alert! New vehicles were now priced exclusively around or over the $1 million mark. Aircraft and special vehicles double or triple that. And more enticing options would release frequently, constantly giving you new things to work toward and goals to achieve. Frustration builds as hours are ground away in the heist mill.
I ran the 1980s. I was the 1990s. I'm Gay Tony, and I'm back.
The After Hours update in 2018 gets its own section. Upon release, I was skeptical.
Okay.
By this point, most major updates to the game that added new systems or business opportunities just served as ways to add even more grinding to an already finely powdered gameplay loop. But this kind of grinding was the sweaty kind. The good sweaty kind, not the gamer sweaty kind. The reintroduction of Tony Prince, one of GTA 4's side characters and the titular character of the Ballad of Gay Tony, was a stroke of genius by Rockstar. In GTA Online, Tony acts as your property manager for a nightclub business. Much like the CEO update, this business came with more vehicle storage, job opportunities, passive income management, and other various activities related to maintaining a steady income. To open a club, you needed to register as a CEO, which meant your businesses could be run at the same time. Unlike how they handled the biker update, from your nightclub, you could manage the manufacturing properties of both your gun-running bunker and your MCC production facilities from one computer, and once you had accrued enough goods, you could sell them all in bulk for the largest payout the game offered to date. If you got tired of waiting for that number to go up, you could sell portions of your stockpile to specialty buyers with specific requests for slightly less than the total, but more than the sum of the individual parts. There were promotional missions that had you canvassing Los Santos with flyers for your club or providing VIP services for celebrity guests to boost your reputation and keep your club packed with patrons. Various ways to sustain your maximum daily income that you could collect from your wall safe at the end of each day, all while your businesses automatically ran themselves and produced more goods to later sell. This model is genius, and the best part is, all of it happened in free roam. You never had to load into a new lobby or wait for a group to fill up to accomplish any of these missions. And, not to mention, the customization of the club. You could hire from a selection of real-life DJs in the game to play their setlist at your nightclub. This was the peak of GTA Online for me. The side jobs got a little tedious after a while, but they were really short and paid out decently well for what was essentially housekeeping.
But hey, if nothing I've said so far sounds all that compelling to you, and you just want to play with the toys in the sandbox and forget about all that gameplay nonsense, then all you gotta do is put the money in the bag!
First of all, thank you for watching if you've made it this far. I appreciate you sticking around. I just finished the edit for this video like a second ago, and I wanted to address something that bothered me about it. This video is a little sloppy. It's my first time really writing a script out for a video like this, and I fucked that up pretty much immediately. I went ahead and wrote 2 full scripts, shot them both, and they weren't anything alike, and tried to mash them together. So that was probably a bad move. So it's a bit meandering. There's a few times I start to make a point that I don't finish, and I'm not going to say it was intentional, but it's thematically appropriate, because I don't really know how I feel about GTA Online. I think it's a problem with the game being so big, and I've been playing it for so long. I don't know if it's like a sunk cost fallacy, like I've dumped over a decade of free time into this game, off and on. It's not like the only thing I play. That would be fucking depressing. I guess ultimately what I'm saying is I don't know what to say. None of what I've said in this video is an original point. There's not a whole lot of original takes to be had with a game that's as old as GTA Online. But I've put so much time into it that I really just kind of wanted to vent. I wanted to talk about it and get it all out of my brain, or it's just gonna rot. It's just gonna rot in there. I do want to keep talking about things that I really like, or things that I have experienced that I'm passionate about. Video games are one of those. I want to talk more about movies. I think talking about a movie again, I really like doing that for Sleepy Hollow. If you haven't seen that video yet, go check it out. Pretty happy with that one. I want to talk about art. I want to talk about making things. I want to talk about video games. But yeah, this one kind of got away from me a little bit. Got a little bit away from me. But anyway, thank you for watching. Consider subscribing. Stay tuned to find out what I have to think about the game next time. See if I have any complete thoughts. We'll see. I haven't even started editing that video yet, so I don't even know what I think of it yet. Okay, bye-bye.